Hello everyone, this is Anisha Sharma and today I'll be telling you about defamation. So, a man's reputation is a very important and very valuable property to him, and he has all the right to protect that property. This right is an inherent right, and he has that right against the world. It is a right in rem. That is, everybody in the world is bound to honor the reputation of that man. Now, under Indian laws, defamation can be either civil or criminal. That is, it can be either under tort or it can be under IPC. In IPC, it is a criminal defamation and it is under section 499 and 500 of IPC. Section 499 of IPC states that if any person by any written, verbal, sign or by any other means makes any person or makes any defamatory statement for any person, that person would be liable for defamation. There are also 10 exceptions to this given under IPC under the same section, under section 499. The first is for a public good, if the person is making the statement and for any public good. Second, if that person is a public servant. Third, the conduct of any person touching any public question. Fourth, publication of report or proceeding of the court, any proceeding that is going on in the court, if that is being published, that would not amount to defamation. Then merits of a case decided in court or conduct of witness or other concern. Sixth is public performance. For example, you are a Bollywood critic and if you did not like a movie and you gave some reviews for the movie, that piece of art was a public performance and you judging it would not amount to defamation. Then seventh is censure passed in good faith by person having lawful authority over the another. For example, your boss did not like your work and he gave some remark for the work that you have done. So that would not amount to defamation. He has a legal authority over you. You are bound by the contract of employment, and for that purpose, you cannot charge him for defamation. Eighth is accusation preferred in good faith to authorized person. Ninth is imputation made in good faith by person for protection of his or her own interest. And 10th is caution for good of a person to whom conveyed or for public good. Now basically we'll be coming to the practical part, that is how as an advocate you would deal with a defamation case. So for example, any person came to you and he says that okay, these are the facts of the case. First of all, you will decide whether the statement that was said or the thing that was done would amount to defamation according to this given definition under IPC. Before that, you after deciding, you will ask whether the client wants a civil remedy or a criminal remedy. That is, whether the client want that the person who has done the defamation, that he should be sentenced to imprisonment, whether he wants that the person should be sent behind bars, or he wants the compensation for the wrong that has been done to him, or he wants both. Under criminal defamation, he can opt for both. So you will ask the client that whether you want the person to go behind bars or you want compensation. So the punishment for criminal defamation is under section 500 of IPC. Your client can ask that okay, what would be the imprisonment or what would be the penalty that the person would have to face in case he is convicted. You will tell him that he can either go for a simple imprisonment for 2 years, or he can be fined. Fine would be according to the reputation of the person, depending upon the face value of that person, or he can be charged with both. Now this would be a bailable offence and a non-cognizable offence. That person who is accused of defamation can not be arrested without a warrant by the magistrate. That is what non-cognizable offence means, and he can even be discharged on bail till the case is pending. Also, now you cannot directly file a suit. You first will give a notice to the person asking him to take back whatever he have said and giving him time for that, and this taking back of his words should be a public statement. He should publicly take back whatever he has said. In case he denies or he does not do the needful within the given time, then you can go for the lawsuit. Also, you can ask court for be arrested without a warrant by the magistrate. That is what non-cognizable offence means, and he can even be discharged on bail till the case is pending. Also, now you cannot directly file a suit. You first will give a notice to the person asking him to take back whatever he have said and giving him time for that, and this taking back of his words should be a public statement. He should publicly take back whatever he has said. In case he denies or he does not do the needful within the given time, then you can go for the lawsuit. Also, you can ask court for injunction orders that please stop this person from stating anything further until the pendency of the case, and you will also check the limitation period of the case, whether the case is within limitation or the limitation has exceeded. The limitation period is 1 year, and in case the limitation has exceeded in the Indian Limitation Act, you can also state the reasons for the delay, and thereby if the case is, the court is satisfied with your reasons, the court can still institute the suit. Also, if suppose the person who have been if suppose your client wants that along with the person who has said this defamatory words, he want to charge the publisher also of the defamatory statement, so he'll ask whether I can do so. You can say yes. The person who has printed this defamatory statement, the person who has sold this defamatory statement can be convicted, and the question would be suppose for example there is a news channel who has published this statement of the defamatory statement that the accused said. So now the news channel has initiated this thing. So the news channel can be charged, but under section 79 of the IT Act, it reads that an intermediary shall not be liable for any third party information or data or communication link made available or hosted by him. It means that suppose the statement was made on any public platform, any social media platform, so the owner of the social media, for example if it is on Facebook, the owner of Facebook cannot be held liable for the statement that was on his social media suit. Also, if suppose the person who have been if suppose your client wants that along with the person who has said this defamatory words, he want to charge the publisher also of the defamatory statement, so he'll ask whether I can do so. You can say yes. The person who has printed this defamatory statement, the person